Hey, welcome back. This is a reading of Dr. Rodney Howard Browne's book, The School of the Spirit. This is chapter 3. We're moving right along. This is a small book, so we'll get through this in no time. Hang in there. Chapter 3 is entitled, Life is a School. One of the facts of life is that we are constantly learning from the time we are born till the time that we die. Just with our 5 physical senses, we learn things right from day one. We start off learning to crawl, then we walk. Then say that a baby, even before it can talk, actually makes every sound that it could be made for any language on the planet. A baby can actually articulate all the sounds it would need to speak any language on earth. Isn't it amazing? God gave a baby that ability so that it can learn the language of its parents with ease. It is also amazing how children can pick up on different languages just by being around them. It happens so quickly, so easily. If we look at the world as it is today, we see how knowledge has increased. Anybody can tell that from 1900 until now, just 95 years, how knowledge has increased. They tell us today that the knowledge available to man doubles or trebles, maybe meant to mean triples, every 6 years. We are living in days where the computers are advancing so fast that just a few years ago, the 386 was the best computer. Now we have the 486, and soon it will be the 586. Obviously, this book was written some time ago. I don't even know what they're talking about. Everything is advancing so fast that they cannot even make the software to keep up with the technology. That's how rapidly things are developing. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to see that from the year 1900 until 1995, a few years ago, knowledge has literally exploded to the point where we have moved to a global internet with the information superhighway. We have children who are locked into the world of computers, who live in a world of virtual reality. If our grandparents or great-grandparents could see the way we are living today, some of them would have a heart attack on the spot. They wouldn't believe that we could be this advanced. If Jesus tarries, look forward to the next 25 years. If Jesus tarries, you might wonder where all this is going to end. Things that were science fiction 20 years ago are a living reality now. Think about it. 30 years ago, there was no such thing as a personal laptop computer. If they had a computer, it took up 4 or 5 stories of a building. Today, it's getting smaller and smaller. You can carry it around. All this change is coming from natural human knowledge. Let's go back 400 years. Every one of these things would have functioned back in that time period, but nobody knew about them. A 747 would have flown in the year 1600, but nobody knew about a 747. The Wright brothers did not invent flight because birds had been flying long before the Wright brothers. The Wright brothers found out how to fly. The early pioneers of flight paid the biggest price because some of them were not able to come back the next week to test out a different theory. After the inventor went to the top of a hill, strapped on the feathers and flapped arms and jumped off the cliff, he wasn't able to come back to say, nah, it didn't work. I'll try something else. Some people paid with their lives to get us from no flight to sitting in a 747 going across the oceans of the world. Today, we have so many things we take for granted, like electricity and air conditioning, but we forget that many people spend their whole lives working on these inventions. Some even lost their lives in pursuit of the advancement of knowledge. That is the reading of chapter 3 of Dr. Rodney Howard Browne's book, The School of the Spirit. We will see you shortly for chapter 4.